In 2008, an idea came to fruition.
It is a sunny morning here, and today these riders are going to be coming down and basically using this whole slope as a canvas.
An all-mountain backcountry freestyle snowboarding contest in which the world's best riders battled it out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Ryan Aguchi kind of billy-goating up there into one of the main chutes.
It was an idea that Travis and I talked about. Nothing like that had ever been done.
These riders have a chance to make their own line. Right here, we see Nico enter with a stalefish and comboing that with a melon backside 360.
It's kind of the hybrid between the park and the backcountry.
We called it the natural selection.
Look how deep that powder is.
I fondly remember natural selection, and all I wanted to do was be there.
It hit with a huge method error.
What do you do when you're with your friends and you see a jump like that into fresh landings? You hit it.
Everything pretty much came together.
It was just kind of a dream.
In 2012 and 13, we hosted the event at the infamous Baldface, British Columbia.
It is breathtaking, a backcountry snowboarder's dream come true.
Since then, we've been tinkering behind the scenes. I am humbled, honored, and really excited to announce the natural selection is back. In 2021, it will officially become a 3-stop tour that will ultimately crown the best all-mountain freestyle rider on the planet. This is going to be good.
So yeah, our big mountain venue for OG natural selection. On yonder,
Yeah.
the main bowl that's separated by that middle feature.
Yeah, the far one. Gotcha.
Yeah. Jackson has a very long, famed history, and there's a reason for it. I mean, this place is geographically incredible. You have consistent pitch over 4,000 feet to the top of the aerial tram. One of the challenges that we face is giving people optionality of terrain that's very well dispersed and fair. There's this band of granite that comes through the top of the resort here, and that's why you have these massive cliffs and 30-foot tall boulders. And so it's riddled with natural features. You can kind of see into the bottom of the course right here.
Yeah. Nice.
If you look at halfpipe riding, slopestyle, the venues got better and bigger, and so the sport has been going through the roof. But also, there's been a certain disconnect to how people grew up snowboarding and what they can relate to. And so I like the idea of having a venue that people can actually envision riding through.
Ultimately, that's really what backcountry riding is about, is kind of creative interpretation of the terrain. Having Hannah Beeman ride with me for a few days here in Jackson, take her down the course, explain what we're doing, and especially get feedback from her.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, a whole lot of options. She's such a strong, super well-rounded rider, and even more than that, she's just a damn fun person to be around.
Supernatural was a dude's invited event, which was a bummer. When I first heard that they were going to incorporate women, I assumed it was going to be like oh yeah, 2 or 3 or something like that, throw them in. I was pleasantly surprised that they're going to have, 9?
We're ready for this thing to become a legitimate highest echelon of competitive snowboarding. Having a full women's field with an amazing men's field as well, so much more representative of snowboarding.
Women are just absolutely ripping. The progression that's happening in women's snowboarding, it kind of eclipses the men right now.
It's psycho what's going down right now, and it's moving fast. And so far, we haven't had the opportunity to compete on a backcountry course. That's where we're gonna see those girls in the park come to the backcountry and absolutely slay. that kind of terrain. It's a little more relatable. It's a little more open for us to push the limits instead of the features pushing the limits. So it allows us to shine as riders. It's going to be a pretty cool dynamic.
Something special about this event is that it is held in a natural environment, but there's a lot of challenges, you know, going into the mountains. And when you're at these places of great energy, you know, these headwaters to these mighty rivers, you learn a lot about the processes that shape the earth, that sustain life. It's a special opportunity to get out in the mountains and to see things that you wouldn't in a traditional comp career.
When you describe it to someone over dinner, you know, with a couple beers, it's amazing. But then you have to think about all the factors that have to come together to make that happen. Number one being snow.
Pray for conditions. We can do everything all the time and try and make it perfect, but it's Mother Nature who actually has the last decision.
You know, and safety is a huge issue. You have to have a certain snow quality to run the event, but you also have to have confidence in the snowpack.
Being able to run 2 events up at Supernatural, where we went in and did quite a bit of summertime work and enhancement, and then come wintertime, we also mitigated avalanche hazard. We learned a lot on how to take care of a face and monitor the snowpack after every storm and prepare it for that day when the world's greatest show up to ride it. The end result here up on Jackson is, to call it world class is almost an understatement. Like, it's one of the best runs in the world.
Everything great grows and evolves within our culture, especially with input from around the world. That's exactly what this is. It's a 3-stop, all-mountain freestyle tour in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Baldface, British Columbia, and culminating appropriately in Alaska. Stay tuned for more episodes just like this one, and get ready for the Natural Selection Tour.